Okay, here's our review for tomorrow's assessment, linear equations and their application. This is the first of 5 standards this semester. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 1. Here's the y, here's the x. The y is in front by itself, making this a slope-intercept graph. So that's M, that's B. So M is the slope, and B is the y-intercept. The slope is negative 2/3, and the y-intercept's positive 1. So I go to positive 1, and then we'll be going down 2 and 3 to the right. So down 2, 1, 2, 3. The slopes rise over run. You can do it again if you want, but the line's not going to look the same. Okay, next problem. 3x minus 4y equals negative 12. Now, again, here's the x, here's the y, but now the formation's different. It's in standard form. So with standard form, the best way is to find your x-intercept and your y, or your y-intercept and your x-intercept. So I kind of copy this equation down twice. And x is 0, so we can go ahead and eliminate that. So we have negative 4 times y equals negative 12, so I divide and I get 3. Okay, now here the y is 0, so we can eliminate that. So 3 times x equals negative 12, and that's going to be negative 4, so 0, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then negative 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have our intercepts, and then that kind of takes me there. Okay, the next problem, y equals 6. Okay, really that's when you only have one variable, we go with this chart, and the x isn't even here, so let's have that be anything I want. 1, 2, 3 is easiest, and the y is constantly at 6. So 1, 6. 2, 6, and then 3, 6. Okay, and I have a line then that goes straight horizontally. Now, if the only letter would have been x, then it's going to go straight up and down vertically. Okay, 3x minus 4y is greater than 48. Now, this is an inequality, so we're going to have to run our test at the end after the line's down. So that's a negative 4y. This is again in standard form, because here's the x and here's the y. They're together on the same side. So again, I go back to my x-y-intercept table. So 3x plus negative 4y equals 48, and then 3x plus negative 4y equals 48. Okay, so if x is 0, we can get him out, and we can divide by negative 4. 48 divided by negative 4 is negative 12. Now if y is 0, we can get rid of that, and 3 times x equals 48, and 48 divided by 3 is 16. So with 0, negative 12, we can just go down 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then 16, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Now it's only greater than 48, it's not equal to, so I need to make my line dash because all the points on the line make it equal to 48, which is not part of the solution technically. So there's two sides. We got this little side down here and then up here, so we're going to pick 0, 0. So 0 is going in for both these. Okay, so 3 parentheses plus negative 4 parentheses is greater than 48. Okay, so any product is 0, 0, but 48's bigger, so it's not opening up towards the correct number. That's a false. So 0, 0 gave me a false solution. That means any point on this side of the line is false, and any point on the other side is true. That's good enough. If you want to shade the true side, that's fine. Okay. Okay, we're going to cross out this ridiculous problem down here. We're going to look at these next ones. Solving inequalities. There's only one inequality. It means you got to find one critical number and go with that. So here's my x, my coefficient's 1 over negative 6. So the coefficient is indeed negative. So since it's negative, that sign has to turn around and go the other way at the end. Now let's get rid of the negative 6. You're actually going to multiply to get rid of that. And now we flip the sign. That's negative 12, and that's x. 1x and x are the same thing. So negative 12 is my critical number. We're not going to fill it in. We're just going to go to the right. And that's my answer that I'm looking for. Negative 7x plus 8 is greater than or equal to 22. So here's my coefficient. It appears that we have a negative, so that turns around, goes the other way. So I take 8 away from both sides. And now I deal with my negative 7 by dividing, and that turns around, x and negative 2. So negative 2 is our critical number.
Can you not lock the teacher's lounge?
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So I circle, I fill it in, and less than goes that way. Okay, now absolute values have two answers. Now this one's kind of a weird one because the absolute value is not equal to 24, and you can't come over the top. That's parentheses, okay? So get out of here with the rainbows. You don't use that. The 4 is multiplying the absolute value, so just to undo it, you just divide. It's pretty easy. So 6, and then absolute value of x minus 5. So I know now my absolute value is equal to 6, but then you can also have an absolute value in the place of negative 6. So x minus 5 equals 6, x minus 5 equals negative 6. So I add 5 to both sides, I get 11. Add 5 to both sides, I get negative 1. Okay, now those are your non-story problems you're going to need to know. Here's our next one. The story problems. That's of course what people are going to be worried about. Let's say that Netflix, but I've instituted a system that will help you. Let's say that Netflix institutes a new policy of a $30 sign-up fee plus a 45-cent charge for every movie viewed online. If you owed $64.65, how many online movies did you view? So I'm trying to find out the number of movies. So since that's my answer, that has to be a unit, and then I see that these have money, so those are our 2 units. So the product is our x, and then the money's the y, so that's only 2 units. So let's get this for the kind of path and this for the equation. So the cost per movie is 45 cents, okay, clearly says that. X comma y, mx, y. So the m being 45 cents goes here. And then prior to the 45 cents, we have a $30 sign-up fee. So we got 30 at the beginning, 45 cents every movie, and then that takes us to a new cost. So 30 plus 0.45x equals y. Now the x stays because we're going to put the 64.65. Now that's $64.65. So it goes in for money, so that's y. Okay, so then we're going to take 30 away from both sides. That's going to be $34.65. And then we get 0.45x. Okay, now we divide by 0.45. Remember, I know this seems kind of basic for Algebra 2, but remember to get the decimal in there. 34.65 divided by 0.45, and that gives me 77. So 77 movies. Okay, that one's pretty easy. Then these get harder. Okay, we got way too much workspace here. I don't need that much because it's a % off problem. So an item that used to cost $25.59 has been put on discount for 25% off. What's the cost after the discount? So 100% is my starting point, and then it's 25% off, so that takes me to 75%. Now the question is whether 2559 goes with the 100% or 75%. Now that depends on if that was before or after. Now it said it used to cost that, so that's probably a good indication that that 2559 was before. So I use ratios. Here's my percent ratio. I put my 100% in the denominator, 75% on top. Now that goes with 100%, so since that's in the denominator, $25.59 goes in the denominator and X on top. And then it's cross it's cross multiply and divide. We find the product of 75 and 2559. And then we divide by 100, and that gives me $19.19. Okay, one person has put up 188 feet of fence for his cattle in 4 hours. Another farmer has constructed 205 feet of fence for his cattle in 6 hours. If the two people have to construct 1,020 feet of fence for a huge ranch, how long will it take working together? So the how long is how many hours. Okay, so hours is a big unit, and so is feet. There, that's 2 units, so with 2 units, we're going with this, and we're going with this. So X is the hours, Y is the feet, so feet per hour. Okay, I don't have the feet per hour, okay? Now, on a problem like, don't just start doing the Y minus Y, X minus X, okay? Because if you have direct variation, you're not going to do that. And I'm going to have direct variation because if I don't work for any hours, if the farmers don't work for any hours, because that's what X is, they're not going to get any feet of fence built. I mean, that's common logic. So that's a DV problem. So we go to our proportions. You need to put your time unit in the denominator for this to work the way you want it to. You got to remember that. Okay, so 188 over 4, because that's what one guy can do. And he gets help. The other guy gives him 205 over 6. And then 1,020 feet. That's X. Okay, so I need to add those ratios together. 188 over 4 plus 205 over 6. 81 and 1/6. Now there's 2 ways you can do that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put 81 and 1/6 over 1. You could also, don't write, if you're comfortable with that, just ignore this. You could also take 81 times 6 and add 1 to it. 487 over 6. You could also make it improper. Either one's okay. So 1,020 over X. So I multiply and divide. 1 times 1,020 is 1,020. And I divide by 81 and 1/6. Okay. I get between 12 and 13. Okay. So we're going to go about 276 over 487 is reasonably close to a half, so I'm just going to put 12.5. Just get it somewhere close. Okay. One web service charges a $50 installation fee and a cost of $33 per month for internet service. There's another web service that has free installation but charges $36 a month for internet service. Approximate the number of months which the first service becomes cheaper than the second. So we got to find that one point where they become equal first. So months is the answer. So months is a big unit, and so is money. So X is months, Y is money. That's 2 units again. So dollars per month. My dollars per month, I've got $33 per month, but then I've got another one that's got 36, so that's 2 lines. Okay, so I have $33 per month here, and 36 here. Okay, me putting the 0 means that before we pay $33 per month, this guy had $50 installation. Now this guy had free installation. Now you might think, oh, it's direct variation. No, both lines would have to start at 0, so it is not direct variation. So what we want to do is find out when are these equal. So I set them equal to each other. I take 50 plus 33x. Now I want to know when that's equal to just the 36x. So I subtract 33x, subtract 33x, so that's 3x equals 50, divide by 3, divide by 3. You get about 17. Okay, it's a decimal. Not quite, it's like 16.6 repeating, so it's going to be 17 months. Okay, my sister makes $3 more per hour than I do in a week. This week I will work 20 hours and she will work 17 hours. We are going to put our money together to buy my mother a gift. If we end up with $366.50 to spend, how much do each of us make per hour individually? So I know the cost per hour for me, cost per hour for sister. Okay, now you're like, hours and money. No, there's actually the hours that I work and the hours that the sister works, and then money. So that is 3 units of measurement. So we go with the table. So the totals are going in the corner. How many and single. Okay, so the hours for me, the hours for sister, and then the money for single, money for total. So let's talk about these first 4. What's the dollars for a single hour from me? I do not know. Or my sister. I know one is 3 more, but I'm going to hold off on worrying about that. Now, how many hours for me? 20. How about the sister? 17. Okay, after we talk about these 4 things, let's talk about the total money, $366.50. Now let's jump back in here and come up with how we're going to set up our variables. Now we know this $3 per hour more, okay, and that's my sister, so plus 3 for her, and I do not need to use y. That can be x plus 3, and that can be x. So 20 times x is 20x, and then I distribute that to both those. That's going to be 17x plus 51. So we have 20x plus 17x plus 51 equals $366.50. Okay, the x's, add those, 37x, and while you're at it, subtract 51 from both sides. So that's going to be $315.50, so I divide by 37. So 315.50 divided by 37. Okay, you got $8.53. Okay, so that's going to be for me. Then for the sister, we just add $3 onto it. So add 3 with the more than, that's $11.53. Okay, I got 3 more left. Okay, I wouldn't put this one on a test. It's a little confusing, but let's go with it. Snack mix contains corn flakes and Cheerios. 220 ounces of cereal are needed. Cheerios come in 17-ounce boxes and corn flakes come in 15-ounce boxes. If I can't buy more than 6 boxes of cereal, how how many of each type of cereal should I purchase? Okay, it says you're going to have to do some rounding like you did on the last one. Okay, so I need to find the boxes of the cornflakes and the boxes of the Cheerios. Okay, so I've got cornflakes, I've got Cheerios, and then our other unit would be ounces, OZ, so that's again 3 units. So instead of using a money, we just use ounces in the places where I would normally use money. So I've got total in the corners. How many single? And we got the cornflakes and the Cheerios, so I've got ounces for single, ounces for total. How many ounces do we have for cornflakes? I see 220 ounces, that's just for cereal. 17 ounces, that's for Cheerios, so I know that's 17. And then 15 ounces would be for the cornflakes. How many boxes of cornflakes and Cheerios? That's what I don't know. Okay, now go get a total ounces. We have that. We have 220. And let's jump back in here. There's another number, and that number's 6. But it's 6 boxes of cereal, so it's not cornflakes or Cheerios separate. It's the 2 combined. So it's X, it's Y. So we're going to have 15X and 17X. So I have a system. I have here and here. Okay, so I have X plus Y equals 6, and I've got 15X plus 17Y equals 220. By the way, that's a Y. Terrible. So I got a 15, I got to multiply all these by 15, and I have a 1 here, so I multiply all those by 1. So you're going to have 15X plus 15Y equals 90. In the bottom, you're going to have 15x plus 17y equals 220. Okay. This is going to end up a really weird problem. I just know it. So negative, negative, negative. So 15 and negative 2 is negative 2y. 90 plus negative 220 is negative 130. Y equals 65. Okay, sure, 65 boxes of Cheerios, but we got a little problem here. X plus Y equals 6. Y equals 65. Subtract 65. You end up getting a negative number. It is negative 59. Well, when you have that, this is what you write. That means the problem is not solvable with the information that was given. Okay. 2 cars start from one place and drive for the same amount of time. One car averages 70 miles per hour while the other car is whizzing along at 90 miles per hour without amazingly being ticketed. If the second car ends up traveling 400 miles more than the first car after the day is over, please approximate the distance each car traveled. So the distance is not a unit. The unit is miles, okay? So I've got miles and I've got hours. It's only 2 units, so 2 units. So X is hours, Y is miles, so per. Miles per hour. The miles per hour I have 70 and I have 90. Okay, those 2. So X comma Y, MXY, X comma Y, MXY. Okay, so my M's are 70 and 90 respectively, but in this problem, if we don't travel for any hours, we ain't getting any miles. So this time they both start at 0. When they both do, it's direct variation. Now, if I just put miles, hours, I'm going to get nowhere fast. because I don't have enough information to use that. What I do use is the fact that they travel for equal amounts of time. So the times are equal, so then the distance divided by speeds have to be equal. And we know our speeds are 70 and 90 respectively. And this guy going 90, I know that he goes 400 further. I don't know his distance, but I know it's adding 400. So I go with diagonally. 90 times d is 90d. 70 times d is 70d. 70 times 40 is 28,000. So I subtract 70d. So 20d equals 28,000. I divide by 20 on both sides. That's going to be 1,400 miles. Okay, so then you know the other one goes 400 more miles, so he's going to be at 1,800. Okay, I got two more. One person goes to the grocery store and buys 3 jars of peanut butter and 4 jars of jelly. His receipt totals $15.93. We have a second person that buys 3 jars of peanut butter and 6 jars of jelly for $20.31. Calculate the cost of an individual jar of peanut butter and an individual jar of jelly. Cost of jar of peanut butter, cost of jar of jelly. So we got peanut butter, we got jelly, and we got money, so that's going to be 3 units again. Okay, so the totals in the corners. How many single, and then we got peanut butter, jelly, dollars single, dollars total. Okay, do you have a dollars for just peanut butter? Nope, that's for everything. Nope, that's for everything. I do not have that information right now. That's my answers. How many jars of peanut butter? Well, we got 3 here and we got 3 there. Okay, the jelly, we got 4 here and we got 6 here. And then my total amounts are $15.93, 20, and 31. So that's going to be X, it's going to be Y. So we got 3X, 3X, and 4Y, 6Y. So, system, 3X plus 4Y equals $15.93. And then we got 3X plus 6Y equals $20.31. Okay, we can add these, multiply by -1, because now those drop out. I don't need to do that times across the top, crap, and bottom, because they were already the same number. So -2y. So 15.93 plus -20.31 is -$4.38. So I get y equals 2.19. Okay, so the jelly is $2.19. Okay, peanut butter. I'm going to take my first equation, 3x plus 4y equals $15.93. Now that I know that the jelly, okay, the y was 2.19, we're good to go there. So 15.93, I've got 3x, and now I got to take 4 times 2.19, 876. So minus 876 minus 876. So 15.93 minus 8.76 is going to be 717. And I divide by 3. $2.39. Okay, and then let's look at that other sheet because I forgot to put one in that packet. That was my fault. I gotta go get the other sheet real quick. Okay, sorry for the pause. You start the year with a balance on your lunch account. After eating for 5 days, you have $57.50 left on your account. After eating for 10 days, you have $35 left on your account. How many days will it take before your lunch account hits $0? Okay, so days. So days and money are the two things. That's X, so 2 units. And the dollars per day. Now the dollars per day, I don't have a dollars per day right now. So I'm going to put a little question mark there. I might need to find it depending on if you have direct variation. Now, the X, that means days. Now look at what's happened to your money. Anytime that Y unit, the money's going down, and I can see it's going down, that ain't zero. You need to use Y equals MX plus B to find it. And that means you got to actually come over here and get your M. Okay, so we got $57.50 minus 35 on top in the numerator because Y is days, and then you're going to have 5 minus 10 on the bottom in the denominator. Okay, so that's going to be $22.50, and that's going to be negative 5. So 22.50 divided by negative 5 gives me negative 4.5. So negative $4.50 comes out of that account. So, okay, so that's good. Now we got to get our beginning. Negative 4.50, and then we're going to use a combination. I'm going to go with 35 and 10. Be easier, then I wouldn't have to deal with as many decimals. Y is dollars, so we had $35, and that was after we took negative 450 out of the account over a course of 10 days. So we got 35. Negative 450 times 10 is negative 45. That means 45 came out of that account over the last 10 days. Now to find out what we started at, we add the 45 back on, and that's 80. Okay, now I got the nice equation I can write. So 80 plus negative 4.50x equals y. We're going to put $0 in for y. Okay, let's move the 80 over. It's negative 80 divided by 450x. So negative 80 divided by negative 4.50 is going to be about 8. It's going to run out in 17 days. Okay, when something's running out, you don't really round up, because if you round up, it means it'll be year 1 too high.